You know what this keyboard sounds like, even if you've never heard it before. In the 1960s, the Hohner Company of West Germany started introducing the Clavinet keyboard, which was a substitute to the 13th century clavichord. Back in the day, the clavichord was used mainly as a practice instrument due to its quiet output and its affordable price at the time. The Hohner Company decided to freshen things up, make it electric, and make a new version of the clavichord for the 60s. And this was the Hohner Clavinet. Now on an acoustic clavichord, when the key is depressed, on the other end there is a piece of metal that smacks the string kind of like you would hammer on with a guitar neck. Now on a Hohner Clavinet, when the key is depressed, there is a small rubber hammer underneath the key which then hits the string, sounding it. Now let's go and take it apart. With our clavinet on the bench, we could start by opening up the top lid, which reveals our 9-volt power supply and our little storage compartment for our legs and the tuning key, which is just a flathead screwdriver. From there, we remove our front panel here, which is screwed in by 2 thumb screws. With the front rail exposed, you can now see where we tune the instrument. This is just like a guitar with how you restring it, but you use that little flathead screwdriver to move these screws in front to slowly make changes to the pitch. From there, we remove the 2 cheek blocks with this little thumb screw. Your left cheek block is all of your electronics. This is the bottom of your switches, all the way to the preamp board. The right cheek block operates the mute rail. This is a large piece of felt that is put on top of the strings to make the output a bit more staccato, rather than a full sustained note when pressed. To remove the key bed, you want to unscrew the 4 screws on each side of these metal bars, which will then allow you to lift up and see the underside to your pluckers and your strings and harp. From here, we can get a full view of what the clavinet really looks like on the inside and how it works. Starting from the right, we have our 2 pickups, A and B. Each one, like a guitar, has 2 different kinds of tones, and with these switches on the left side, can provide an in and out of phase final output. This copper bar is our string anvil strip. This is where the rubber pluckers on the bottom of our keys will smack down and sustain each note. Good contact to each plucker is crucial, or else you won't have a good sustaining note. Behind the anvil strip, we have Vintage Vibe Clavigel. This is a substitute to the traditional Hohner yarn, which is used to dampen any extra frequencies that might appear past the termination point of the anvil. And in the front here are our tuning pegs. Now you might notice the excess amount of shielding tape here. This is what I deemed all right to get a good signal to noise ratio without having to box up the preamp board. Due to the size and nature of single coil pickups, it's important that you do use some sort of shielding mechanism to reduce any excess hum or frequencies that might be picked up from this instrument, as it picks up a lot. To give you a quick demonstration, when you press a key down, the rubber hammer will come down on the anvil and depress that string, then making it vibrate from the anvil up and then getting picked up by those single coil pickups. Taking a look at the tone controls, you have the brilliant, treble, medium, and soft, which all change the EQ of the final tone. On the C, D, and A, B side, these are for your pickups, CD being single or dual pickup, and AB being the 2 pickup selectors. While Hohner released a handful of clavinet models, the D6 is arguably the most popular and easiest to repair and maintain. If you've listened to Stevie Wonder, the band, Herbie Hancock, or any multitude of R&B, soul, or funk bands through the 70s, you've definitely heard this instrument. While the most notable song featuring this instrument is for sure Superstition by Stevie Wonder, that particular recording was actually made on a clavinet C rather than this D6, an arguably much cooler looking, sleek little white and red keyboard. Now before I play a little demo for you, if you like what you see here, I have tons of vintage keyboard content on my channel. You might like that as well. Without further ado, I'll be recording this from the 1/4-inch jack over here with the 9-volt battery as the power adapter so that it cuts out a little bit of that wall hum.